Your brand new iPhone deserves the best protection, and the iLune 3-pack screen protector plus 3-pack camera lens protector has you covered. Don't take risks with your iPhone. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Welcome to the episode Edge, where we dive into the most fascinating stories in music history. Today, we're going back to 1969, when one of the biggest bands of all time, the Beatles, broke up amidst a storm of creative differences and personal tensions. The news hit fans like a ton of bricks. The Beatles were no more. It was a shockwave that reverberated through the music world, leaving everyone wondering what went wrong. So, who do you turn to for insight into this iconic split? None other than Mick Jagger, the frontman of the Rolling Stones. For Jagger, it's hard not to compare the Beatles to his own band's experiences. The Beatles were so big that it's hard for people not alive at the time to realize just how big they were, he says. There isn't a real comparison with anyone now. He continues, they were this forerunning, breakthrough item, and that's hard to overestimate. As the biggest rival bands of the British invasion era, the Beatles and the Rolling Stones had an undeniable rivalry, but also developed a deep friendship. Jagger understands what it takes to keep a successful band together, having been part of one himself. For Jagger, there's only so much you can guess about why the Beatles fell apart, but he does have some insight into the reasons behind their split. I can hazard a guess that they were both rather strong personalities, and both felt they were totally independent, he explains. They seemed to be very competitive over leadership of the band. This wasn't just about ego, it was also about creative differences. The Beatles' direction had begun to diverge, and tensions rose during recording sessions for Let It Be in 1969. According to Jagger, John Lennon and Paul-McCartney were both too powerful to work together effectively. When there are two strong personalities like that wanting to be in charge of 9 out of 10 things, you're not gonna make a relationship like that work, he says. It's just human nature. This wasn't the first sign of trouble for the Beatles. In 1969, financial troubles had started to plague the band, and Lennon had turned to manager Allen-Klein as an alternative. However, McCartney wanted his in-laws, John and Lee Eastman, to manage the band. Looking back on it all now, Jagger's assessment seems eerily prophetic. Something that great was always going to implode, he says with a tinge of sadness. And yet, even amidst this inevitable collapse, the Beatles left behind an indelible mark on music history. Join us next time on the episode Edge for more stories about the most fascinating moments in music.